how's it going? Greetings, adventurers. Welcome to another Monday Maps with me, MADDRROB, here on Obsidian Brews. I got me some feedback on my end because I have the sound going on my side. Anyway, with that, oop, I got it in two places. Dope. What's sound issues? Streaming without sound issues. Cool. But yes, greetings, adventurers. Thank you for coming. For another Monday Maps with me, MADDRROB. It's been a while. Life's been lifing, but we're here. I'm glad you made it. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing well. Take some time for yourself. Love yourself. Love to have you. First up, we got stuff. What's up, man? We got stuff. There are things happening right now because, as I said, life be lifing, but we still out here. And I have notes here, so I'm gonna remember what we did. Last month, February, for Black History Month, Obsidian Brews, we did a collaboration with Start Playing, where we ran a series of one-shots, that people can join and play and just have the home game experience of having one of Obsidian Brew's own DMs be your DM for a little game. And we had so much fun doing it. I want to do it again. This time just for us. So I will be DMing another round of A Sweet Adventure, a delightful one-shot that I have created in the homebrew world that I have created, that I would love for you to participate in. So if you would like, we will be throwing up the links in the chat. They'll be in the description below all the YouTubes. So go check it out, sign up, start playing, and you can come hang with me and play the game. It's at the end of the month, so you got a little bit of time, but space is limited. I think we only got 5 spots, so join up. Cool, that's number 1. Number 2! Your boy's been busy. I have been... Oh, you may have known that I was previously in Harlem Hellfighters Never Die over on Queen's Court Gaming, and it was dope. We were back. We've been in a couple festivals. That's right. We got black folks in festivals, and it's dope. Shout outs to Queen's Court for being amazing. But the whole squad is back for another story. This time in Haunted West, where we are. Oh, it's real good, y'all. I don't even want to give too much away, but do check out Telltale Games YouTube channel for Raiders of the Lost Tribe. We're gonna put the first episode in the chats and in the YouTube comment on YouTube descriptions and stuff. It's dope, y'all. Man, if y'all want to see some good old fashioned cowboy rootin' tootin' shooting, we go pretty hard. It's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome. And the last thing that I got is another little treat for you guys. We've been building maps here for a minute, and we, as Obsidian Brews, would like to show you what it's like to take some of the maps that I've made and put them to the test. So actually run them in games so that you can see what it's like to play on the maps that I've made, how to utilize them, or how you would utilize, or one would utilize them for a home game or for a live game, or however you choose to utilize it. So with that, next week, 3/18, that's next Monday, here on Obsidian Brews Zone channel, we'll be running a live game DM'd by me, MADDRROB. And we were going to have some dope folks, Obsidian Brew's own Bendy Dinosaurs, Res Monk, Walker, and some special guests from the squad. You may know them from Harlem Hellfighters Never Die. You may know them from Raiders of the Lost Tribe. We're going to have Queen's Court own Obsidian Brews, lovely Lord Tutu out here, and the man, for the first time on Obsidian Brews, Christian Fluffy Goomba, is gonna be out here playing with us. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. And I will be taking them on a wonderful ride to the favorite realm. And with that, I think that's a good segue into starting on this map, because this map will most likely be featured, provided they find their way there, in next week's game. So without further ado, thanks for coming, thanks for hanging, and let's get this map going, shall we? So as always, I got my notes. See them? I have to turn it sideways, yeah, so that it comes out right. But it should be pretty cool. So this time, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with our path. So we're gonna need some cliff tiles. Now they have a bunch of different types of cliffs, and I'm thinking some of those dusty brown rocky ones are kind of cool. Not so much the shale, but yeah, close to the sandy color. I'm thinking either sandy or dirt. Let's go dirt. Nah, dirt comes up a little funky. So I'm gonna set this to the 400 layer because we're outside. And this is where stuff gets a little tricky because I have to sort of see one way and work another. Okay. So I'm gonna need to get that, get my width up to about 3. How's it look? There we go. That's what we're looking for. So we also want to transition out to shrink. So when you start, you want it to start shrinking to go down. So with that, let's see if this is big enough. Snap off. And the fun part about all of this, one, if it doesn't look right, yeah, just fix it. But I will say, Dungeon Draft has done something very cool that would allow you to just change your path on the fly now. Awesome. So if you don't like it, you can just swap the look. It makes things a lot easier. Unfortunately, you can't make things wider than they already are, but that's okay. Back to that one to actually, I don't fully like this one turned out. What I'm gonna do instead is find my points. It's 5, 10, 8, 5, 8, 5. Sorry, grow and fade. So we're gonna fade out from where we start. So I'm gonna try to find this for like 28 point. I can move a little bit. Oof, okay. I have to pull from there. Yeah, this one. So let's slide over here. There, we'll find the look of it. Yeah. The reason we did that is it makes it actually an easier connector. So if I want to come from the side here, just sort of dead end here, it's a little easier. So what I'm going to do is actually wrap it under and fade out as well. So we're going to come in from the side here, snap to this. And it makes more of a seamless connection here for this cliff face. Now, this may be a little high. That's all right. If we need to move it, we'll move it later. What I'm going to do is shrink this down to about 2 over. And we may shrink all these paths down by a little bit too. That looks a little funky, which is fine. We can snap some of this to grids. I'm gonna save this. Sign events. Oops, I should probably spell it right. Cool. What's up, y'all? Oh snap! We got folks out here. What's up to everyone in the chat? How's it going? If you have any questions while I'm doing things or want to know more about the things I'm doing that I haven't said yet, feel free to ask. I'm here. You can utilize me as a resource. It will be my pleasure to assist. All right. Now, we got some stuff. Now, typically, I would do the flooring first, which I can, but it actually throws off this map a little bit because it's kind of multi-phased. So what I'm going to do next is make a bit of bank. So I'm doing all these paths first, similar to the way I do walls first, and then fill it in. So let's see. I don't want it to be too. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's easier to do it that way. Ridges. So let's go up about 8 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems kind of high, but don't worry. This is all for reasons, and of course, make sure to reset your stuff. Need that ridge, right? And we've got a little dirt moss. So we're gonna go back, search moss, get a little bit more ridge going. Let's see if we can find something that looks kind of good. That's where we were. Yeah, let's get a little bit more slope going for this. And actually, yeah, I'll do the slopes first, get all my paths in, and then we'll make them look good in a second. Alright, so this is on top, so we're going to push this underneath. Try to match this. Get yourself a little bit of a slope. Get yourself a little rocky slope thing going here. And this last point, so it sort of drifts back in. Boop. Yeah. And then, after that, now we drop some sheer vertical cliffs. We're going for some actual drop-off depth. One thing I am doing, doing one of the things I've done previously, where when you layer your path to show depth, you sort of go with a smaller and slightly bigger, then slightly bigger. So as you saw the first one, well, it being a naturally small path for that bank, then the second one is larger, so larger stones, and then this final one is going to be even larger. Just out in here, we'll just slide back a little bit, sort of hide it, and do a little bit of a crag face, so it's like a slight place where you could maybe land. If you fell down the slope, you might have a place to land, maybe not. That's my player's problem, not mine. I'm just making it, man. This is the world. It happens. Nah, not over here. No. But Laura, you didn't. Okay, you did almost die, but you didn't die. But you didn't die though. And you may or may not die this time. I'm just here to facilitate the story, guys. It's not my fault. There we go. Now we have 3 distinct sections of this map. And what we're going to do is, these are currently all on the 400 layer. I got to turn these down to 3. You put them down to 3, so if you want to put something on top of it, you can, and it makes it still look good. Okay, now we can go into some terrain, and let's see what we want to do. So, I don't typically use this one, but we're going to start with this. This is the terrain brush. Brilliant thing about Dungeon Draft, I probably said it before, but with these terrains, you can just set a regular terrain. You know, I don't have to do any extra work. So dirt, gravel, sand, snow, boom, got it. And I have tons of extras, but if you wanna, if you have a certain biome and you only have the standard, you can just click rainforest, boom, it'll give you mossy grass. Or if you want to have mountains, boom, dry desert, and it'll give you all of these things that you can use. For me, I am not going to be using this. I'm going to be using the Forgotten Adventures sets. As always, I typically use Forgotten Adventures assets for my things. Check out ForgottenAdventures.com. They're dope. I also use some of Tom Kartos assets. They're awesome. check out Tom Kartos. Shout out to those guys. They make great things. I'm not using Incarnate right now, but also check those guys out. They make fantastic stuff. If you want to make your own maps, take a look at them. They have some great things, a lot of free assets, and then if you subscribe to their Patreons or purchase their maps or map packs, you can build your own. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But as you can see, I have tons of cool things I can do. And I was playing around with this clover yesterday. It's very green. I thought I had written down exactly which one I wanted. I didn't. That's okay. But for me, these are easy to search through. There you go. So, natural C. I'm gonna try more vibrant grass. Let's try grass A. No. That would sort of lead to that. No, I think we're good with A30 for right now. Unless you wanted to try for that one. Grass short. Make it real. Yeah, no, that's too much. We'll go back to what we were doing before that. Grass wheel 3. And we can always take a look and see if this ridge actually gives us the correct look for our grass. If we don't like it, we can fix it, make it look a little better for us. But next thing I'm gonna do, okay, make sure everything's moving properly. I am going to keep that short grass because I kind of like it. And I'm going to find my gravel. Gravel 06C is what I'm looking for. And the fun thing, yet again, about these is that I can just paint in some texture down here, right? So if we're doing interiors, you know, we'll probably use the actual pattern shape tool. We probably will do a little bit later for some of this, but with that, we're just able to paint in all the pattern. And as always, if I so choose to change it, it makes it very easy. Yeah, I did really like this short grass. I would like to have that up here. So it's like the grass is kind of short down there, but much heavier, much more dense up here. Just with the click of a mouse, adjust the size of your brush if you so choose. I'm going to save this fourth one for a little bit later. But another cool thing, because I don't use this as often, is when you turn your intensity down, you can sort of meet textures underneath other textures. So, and I'm just undoing all of this because I don't want that there, but so for things like gravel, if you wanted to have a little grass show up above it, you know, if you want to put like a stone there, so in this terrain, we'll do some quick 101. So if I do this, right, we have some sort of terrain here, and I just wanted to have some grass sort of come through the cracks. I can just do a bunch of clicks on it. It'll just start looking like it comes through, and then you could highlight with whatever else you want. But at the moment, I don't need that, so I'm going to cover it up and get rid of it. Cool. This doesn't look too bad, but I do have some more things I want to add. Save. Don't forget to save your work. Alright, there are great places to find maps. There are great people that make maps. So yeah, if you ever want to make a map, give me a call. You can figure something out, or at least I can help you make, point you in the right direction to find some cool stuff. As always, thanks guys for coming out, hanging. I appreciate you. This is a lot of, I really do enjoy making all these maps. They're fun. This is a lot of fun for me. And it's a pleasure to have you guys here while I do so. Hey, what's up, man? Yes, get the kids down. Feel free to lurk and just chill with us as we make some maps. So I have gone back down to the 100 layer, because along with the long fall, what's a long fall without a meandering little riverbed? So what we're gonna do is pull some of these back a little bit. Allow everyone the ability to see what's happening. Who knows? Maybe bad things. Or not, whatever. I could be kind. Maybe. Or I could be kind. Yeah, so that'll be the start of the banks. Now, you'll notice I went down to a much smaller layer, or a much smaller width. That's to exaggerate the height difference. So everything up here in our main range will be dramatically higher than what's down here. But one of the cool things that are available to us is a water brush. I think you've seen me do this before. If not, this is actually super cool. The easiest way to do it is trace your paths. That gives it the most realistic look. I'm gonna have to trace this path a couple times. Once for the straight water, and then again for your shadows, but it's a later view problem. Just sort of trace all the way down the path to the edge of the page. Then you snap edge until it turns blue. And what you can do is take the smaller edge, because of this deep shallow color, what it'll do is it'll eat up your it'll look like there's a bank real close by. So you just extend the bank a little bit further. excuse me, past the edge of the page. See? No longer looks like it's there, but the edge that you created looks more realistic. And then there are many ways of making water, making that look pretty cool. One of them happens to be water brush, like the water patterns. This one I don't have to be as precise, but it's me, so I'm going to be just as precise. Or, you know, very close to it. These paths will hide your edges, so that's why you put them where you put them. Paths are your friend. Unless the path is your edge, then be very careful. Well, snap. Alright, or not, that's cool too. Now that water really looks like it's moving. And what you can do is sort of rotate it so it's flowing in the right direction. So your waves would be washing up towards the shore, but it would be flowing in horizontally. There you go. Now you got what looked like some actual water going there. If you want to do some cool effects, you sort of reduce the opacity of the water. Let's go to about 170. And so now you can get the actual color of the water that we got from our water brush, plus the actual, looks like the texture of the water pattern that you have underneath, and it blends perfectly. See? Got some water. Cool. Now, let's see how I feel about these. Because I may want to do something a little different. We can try. I'm going to go back to Cliff. That doesn't look too bad. I don't like that one. I better make a note. I don't forget later. Red Rock A1. I didn't want to get too large stones. Yeah, Red Rock A1 is looking like that. Move. It's not super jagged. Yeah. That'll hold. And what we can do, because it was kind to us, that joining doesn't look too great. So we'll see what we can do about that. Always cover that with like, you can cover it. If you ever have like blemishes or something you don't like, most times you can find something that'll cover the seam, or just put things in it so it's not as bad as you think it is. This, though, I do want this a little bit thinner. Move this back a little bit. As you can see, the further away from your starting point, the thicker or the thinner your shrink or grow becomes. Let me just pull this back a little bit. About there. Still want to keep a little bit of the sometimes it doesn't play nice. If it doesn't, that's fine. We'll just find something different. I don't like it. So we'll do something different. Happens. That's why it's supposed to be. This is sandy, should have been red rock. It be like that sometimes. Like, oh, this looks great. And then you're like, yeah, it doesn't look that great. So, no worries. Good thing is, we can always do it again. So, what we're going to do is, probably use this cliff stone. Put this on 300 layer. Let's see how it looks. Okay, not bad. Let's go to 200. See how it looks. Okay, that's good. Let's shrink it. Have it fade out. We'll start from here and then adjust it as we go. Yeah, the artifacting sometimes gets a little funky, but we do is pull all of these back. I need to use that. At least down a little bit. And then we'll just cover it up with an edge, which we were going to do anyway, so no worries. Whoops, spelling is fundamental. It happens. What we're looking for now is just this grass ribbon. See, that looks massive, so we don't want that. Let's start with one, see how that looks. There we go. So you just take it, you sort of run it along the edge. Oops, it's shrinking. Run it along the edge of your grass. looks a little funky. That's all right. You can adjust it. This back. I'm gonna try one thing. Just forces the fill. So what first thing I'm gonna do is just any places that have that weird transparency layer, we're just gonna fill it. You can sort of see it starting to fill on top of places. What you can do. Whoops. Atom shape tool. Grass short B1, right? That's the same one. Or grass short A1. Let's do this 300 layer. Let's see if it shows up. Okay. So what we're going to do is put on a 400 layer. Well, drop that down to the 200 layer. Let's see how that works. Perfect. So, 300 layer. Great. So now that we put all this stuff down, what we can do is yet again follow your path, similar to what we did before. We're just going to hide our edges. That's all we're doing right now. And we use that's the little trick of using this pattern to hide our edges between our path and the current pattern we got laid down. It looks all good over here, so this is where we do the return. And for the most part, it looks covered. If not, we fix it. Yeah, this one just looks a little bit too big. So I suggest doing to bank is getting this grass ridge at this point. Oops, that's yellow. There are a billion different types of ridges. Ridge to dirt. Little things that you don't notice until you actually get into the weeds of it. That's fine. Sometimes I go through this quickly because I know what I'm looking for. I just don't fully remember it off the top of my head. There you go. Do the same thing, same path. On this side. Grow. And yeah, sorry that took so long. It's one of those things. Alright. From here, we get to do some cool shit. We're gonna go down to the 200 layer, and we're actually gonna make some steps. So I'm gonna go underneath, and I'm gonna put this at like 0.5. Yeah, so make a little thin ridge, and sort of put this underneath here. Mindful of the things you place. Start to look a little off. You can always just adjust. That space. These are all small things that I notice. You may not notice them when you're doing it, but it's all good. Catch them now. And while this may be some of the tedious portions of it, this is what this just adds to the realism when your players look at the map. Much better. And as always, if there are any weird artifacts, you just cover it with something and you're good. Yeah, now you have a difference in height elevation going up, difference in elevation going down. Now we can fill out the middle. So, everybody watching, thank you. Hope you are enjoying it. Another tricky map that I decided of my own fruition to make. One of these days, I promise I'm gonna make an easy one. It's gonna be out here shortly. But that day is not today. So, what we shall do, we're gonna keep on going. What I need is some sort of like light grassy texture. Let's see. Start with that. anything else. I will. Utilize. Just a little bit of that here. I like the heavy grass there. Low one. It was turned down some of this intensity. Get bits of excess grass around here. Check the basis of all of these. Let's turn the intensity up to 5.7. Just sort of like we run the bottom of this. Real fast. Yeah, now we've got some differences between where we're top, middle, bottom, and then outsides as well. Cool. So, all right, so let's start adding some features, shall we? Now this, as I stated before, is going to be part of the Fey realm. So what's a Fey map without some brightly colored trees? So I'm going to go down to our trees. I'm going to put this on the 400 layer. It's going to be high up there. Luckily, we have our wide variety of different types of trees. We're going to go with this. Yeah, I'm going to go with these maple looking Johns. I always like to start with a good red. Let's solid red tree. Here now. This is B tree red B1 5x5. When we do this, always gotta remember we got shadows. Under 400 layer. Oops. We try to make it like 1 point bigger, just so pretty much as if you're shining something down, it cascades out. Sort of highlights it just perfectly. There's a lot of back and forth, but it does tend to make it look really cool. Do a B5 right here. This will be where they're coming from. If you want to be clever, depending on which way you want to have your sun facing, I tend to have it just facing down and out. If you want it to be a little bit wider, which I kind of do right now, what I'm going to do is turn it up to 1.2 and offset it a bit so it sort of shows on the sides. So this can sell it. This tree is much bigger than what's there. Back down to 100. Got some blues, got some greens. Let's get some yellows in here. This is a yellow too. Yeah. That I would just keep just around it. Not is going to be the same. So, got these guys. This is a C. So, let's go for... Ooh. Let's go for another... Let's go for green. Let's go for a regular, or a multicolor green and yellow. Right over here. And this is where having the shadows becomes very important, because putting green on green does not always look the best. So we're gonna fill it with, we're gonna make sure it pops with the shadow. I'll put it close by here. And I did just notice that all of my objects have shadows on them, which is weird. So I'm just going to select them and turn the shadows off. And I put my own shadows on. The good thing about Dungeon Draft is that they have built-in shadows, so if you so choose. I'm just going to make sure this was. I'm guessing this was a C, oh, D2. Okay, cool. Let's see, just making it a little bit bigger, a little bit off to the side gives you that instant shadow that you're looking for. What I can do is take the shadow from this one and just slide it up a little bit. Just everything's just going to be, the sun's going to be coming from this way. From your southeast to northwest-ish. Cool, a couple more trees, and we should be, we'll have a good start. So, let's get some standard blue tree. Now, I very much like a wide variety of colors for all of these. I know it's another YouTube, but in the Fey realm, the random colors, the vibrancy of life out there gets to be pretty cool. It'll make for some very interesting color combinations when you get these trees and stuff in here. And I think one more. So, well, we've sort of used all the colors. Anybody in the chat, if you would like to, feel free to pick a color and throw it in the chat, and I will do my best to, I'll choose one and put that as the color of the next trees. I'm going to finish up down here. Pink, okay. Pink's a good one. Let's see if I can make pink. Alright, that's gonna be a little tricky. Ooh. They come out bubblegum purple. Alright, let's add a little bit more red to it. Some of these don't come out perfectly like we would like, but we can get close. Attempts can be made. If we can't get pink for the trees, we can definitely get pink for the bushes. Or purple. Purple works. Honestly, purple worked real well. Yeah, let's do a purple tree for right now. We'll get some pink bushes in the works as we continue. Let's do 3. When you're making maps for people, especially if you're using your own stuff, you can always, even in the wilderness, show your players where they're supposed to go. It's one of those things that, you know, saying, hey, people may think, oh, it's just railroading, trying to get somebody to go a certain direction. But for me, players, they want to do the adventure. They want to have the fun. Now, they want to search everywhere, so you give them little bits and pieces to find and interact with, but saying, hey, this is where the path goes is always helpful. So hence why when you ever make like a road or a pathway, you want to show it going somewhere. So it goes from left to right or right to left or up to down, but also show where the path does not go. To show, okay, this is, either not a very good idea to go over there, or things are happening in this area or closed off in this area. So something that I would do, and I will do with the rest of this, when I put another tree or something here, even if it's a regular green tree, I'll put it here, like put it in this corner. Probably, it's just a yellow one because it's a little bit pops out a little more. Like I'll use this yellow tree to sort of cap this end. So what it looks like, especially if they're coming from the left, is that you're sort of following this path, this more well-worn path going up to these steps to go out. Alright. You've given them a clear definite path on where to go, sort of. And then sort of utilize what would be natural barriers to keep them in. Same way it happened in any video game. You're like, oh, why is there a bunch of bushes over there? Ah, you want me to that way? Okay, cool. And then they'll follow it. And then you can always keep the action happening within, so it makes it a little bit easier for people to navigate what you're trying to do, especially with maps where it's not always the most clear when you're having encounters or something like that. I do need to get that last tree shadow. That was a C. I used to be able to tell by the there it is. That was a B. Okay. Now this one I won't go as far up for the light, but I will hang it off a little bit so you can see that it overhangs the cliffside. It's just, you know, gentle nods just to show depth for all your things. Below your lower level trees. I would prefer to do at the top or bushes, so I'm going to do that, but there are other features that I will be utilizing down here. And I start again with this ridge. I'm going to place a ridge going around the edge of this. I need somewhere to go, so let's put the platform that I'm looking for in. They've made a lot of cool new stuff out here recently. Yet again, I do highly suggest checking out Forgotten Adventures. They have a lot of cool things. This is here. So I'm going to place this here. I'm going to place this underneath. So 2, 3. Path. Take a simple stone path. I just don't want to have to keep making like doubles, but okay. We want 4 steps. Railing. Just gonna use the object there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Meh. We're all right. It's too many. Just right. I'm gonna put that on the 100 layer because it's not that important. Yeah, we're gonna have a little altar over here. It's part of this. Filter objects and paths. 200. That down to 200. And that down to 200. Alright. So select this guy. Select it off to the side. So, yeah, that looks good. Now we can go back to what we were showing before. Bridge. As we sort of did over here, you can show changes in elevation. By just like gradually fading into and out of these ridges. So now this looks like it's higher up than it should be. And after that, just so it doesn't look weird, let's go to exact. Go find that grass line. Five. And sort of continue that moves the other way. No, it ends about here, so always make sure you're in the right spot. And make sure you got your right transitions. See, just gonna go over the existing ones. It's underneath the tree, so you can't quite tell. Let's move this from here. Edge of grass. But you can always make another you can always pull this one to a more prominent place. Do shrink row. Like another place you don't want your players to go to make it look a little bit more treacherous, more higher ground, things you don't want them to step on. Yeah, from there, that's when you go back and reestablish your grass line. So you never have to worry about whether you're in the right spot, because you have places that'll help you. Oops. So up here, I'll make it heavy grass. So now we got clear areas where it's distinct. So this heavier grass, lighter grass, sparse walked on grass, heavy grass. And what I think I'm gonna do is this gravel. Yeah, I'm gonna change that. Gravel 06C. All right, a little water. Put a snap. Patterns, but I should send that to the back. Actually, I can set again. Move that a little around. That does. If I put terrain on top of it, it doesn't go. Cool. But what it allows me to do is change my middle layer. What I want is things like this. This more worn grass. Still a heavier grass, but people have been shredding this way. What it does is I'm keeping the motif of this well-tread grass here up through this point, so where this continues. Make my own path. Yes. Some of the things we did before have to be a little bit augmented. It's alright. It looks cool when we augmented, but we alright. Keep that edge. Should be good. So now when I go back to grass. Sorry, grass B03. Here looks perfect. More well-worn path. No, had that out a little bit later. Let's pad it out with another. 5. Here. Now got some good grass. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me on another Monday Maps. Me, MADDRROB. As I said at the top of the show, we are running another or a start playing game of a one-shot where I will be your DM. It'll be a private game, so you can go grab a couple friends, or you can join individually, and other folks will join in on the fun for a D&D one-shot run by me called A Sweet Adventure. It's a very fun one-shot. I ran it last month for start playing charity game. I also ran it at MagFest. It's a lot of fun. It's very silly. I do hope you come and join and play with me at the end of the month. We only have a couple, like 5 slots available total. But yeah, it'd be great to have you. And next week, we will be back here. Yeah, that's right. You get us 2 weeks in a row on Obsidian Brews channel, where we will be having a one-shot DM'd by myself with some dope folks from Obsidian Brews, Matt and Bendy, along with Laura Tutu of Obsidian Brews and Coins Court Games fame, the award-winning Laura Tutu. My apologies. And the brilliant Fluffy Goomba will be here running through a fun little Feywild adventure. So do come, have fun with us. We look forward to having you. Pretty much same thing I did on this side for a clear edge. I'm doing on this side for a more clear edge. And I think I'm going to change this grass 803 to that clover that I was looking at. If I can find it. There are a lot of different textures for Forgotten Adventures, some creepier than others. Some are pretty cool. Yeah, there it is. This clover field exactly looks really nice. Get that plus grass. It's like large grass plus clover. can unlock more slots, but then it slows down performance, so I tend not to. Smooth pumping though. Huh. Adding that to my things, yeah. But honestly, that looks pretty good. I am gonna take this path away. I do like the way it blends together. Some more details, because I have a full-on altar here and nothing on it. So let's get some things on it. First thing I want to do, make sure I'm on the right layer. I think it's 300. Trying to be. Give me an altar. Stone altar. 300 layer. Objects. That 100 layer. And we're going to bring this to 200 layer. This is for stacking purposes and shadow purposes. Cool. So we will be putting a shadow around that. Now, this is going to be an altar. And I can tell you guys, if you're one of my players, cover your ears. No, I'm not playing. You can keep them open. This particular spot, this lookout point, is a respite point. It's a place where you can take a quick breather. But what they've done in this part of Feywild is they've created a place where those that don't quite make it can be remembered. Because not everyone who goes on the hunt comes back. This is a point of remembrance for those that have gone on before us. And while we have a lot of folks that have gone on before us, I do want to make a little tribute in this one. To someone who was my little nerd heart flowing. I'm gonna put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A couple of orange orbs. Say sometimes wishes come true, right? I'm sure my players will know when they get there. But this particular one, let's see, what does I have? Treasure gems. Trying to see how small I can get these. Yeah. Space to get it real small. Kind of hard to see. They're honestly not made to really be seen or noticed, but there you go. Get your 4-star. To help you start your journey. So get these little not all of them can be seen. Say the other ones are hiding. Yeah. You get little tributes in there every now and then. So now I need some lamps. Not those type of lamps. These kind of lamps. These are metal, so I'm gonna go for probably the. I may have to go for like the rusty metal because it looks more like wood. Probably center these on me. Let's see. It's under flags? These under flags. Flags and banners. Bunching. One more. that's too big, so we're gonna shrink that down to 0.5, maybe. Oh, it's turned off my smoothness. Come on now, stay smooth. All right, there we go. This is going to be a prayer spot. And I'll fill it out a little bit more, maybe with some offerings on top. I think that'd be cool. But for the current items we got there, let's get some shadows in. Shadow circles. Of course, you can't see it because it's on top of stuff. Okay, because it's smaller. Why don't you make this small? That guy. Pretty good. Now we'll do a couple more things to get your the shadows looking proper. For this is sort of built out. So I'm gonna go shadow path half a 60. Yeah, let's start with that. That's too small. Try to smooth this off. Oops. 200. Worry about that. What we can do. Yeah. And snap to here. Oh. That's fine. It happens. Drink. What we'll just do is put some railing. Let's see. You don't use the same stair railing. Give that some actual depth. Then we're going to take this, make this 5. Under that. There we go. Wibbly wobbly step, my favorite to use. You turn that into a step. So now this is elevated. There you go. Now you have an elevated platform. Out here in the middle of the Feywild. Now, probably looking at this going, okay, we've got some trees, we got an altar, we got some stuff. Still need some more things, and you are correct. That biggest thing is shadow. So we're gonna have to create some depth going along here. It's a little tricky. But you can't be too blunt about it. I just put like a shadow in the middle, and you'll where it won't come up. 300, you know, that looks weird. So you gotta really take your time with your shadows and make sure they sort of are even. And what you can do is use a dual-sided path. Oops, let me turn my smoothness back up. Just try to line up with the edge of whatever you're doing. Make ridges look much like. That doesn't hit the way you want it to. That's happens sometimes. Always make it a little bit lighter. But now that's a little bit darker than, so it looks like it has a little bit of an overhang to it. And you can take another darker path. We're gonna do it again. What I'm gonna do for this one is actually go a bit bigger. Take the shell path half. 60. I think you get it. The half A60. It's not perfect, but you can sort of get it that way later. What I would do with that, now that it's done, I would switch it to just a half A60. Get a full path. A60. So you can sort of see where the parts of it jut out, and that this is a more harrowing place to be. And if you want, just want to move that down a little bit. Yeah. Highlights the pathway. Yeah, that's what I would tell you to do. Like the with that path. So now you can see it sort of slopes down to a little standing edge. It's very, very short. And then cliffs all the way down. So now at the bottom, your half path, excuse me, B60, go all the way to the 100 layer. Let's say 200 layer because this is that's still underneath. make it a little better. Typically that's big enough, but make it 0.5. May look like I'm just pulling out some of these by random. What I'm trying to do is go right to the point before it artifacts like that. And sort of showing off that the rock sort of comes out at these points while still hiding the edge underneath the path. So but yeah, now that looks like a little bit of a thing. And I can finish this off with just this probably 300 until I'm gonna bring it back down a little. It's wibbly wobbly line path. And do some minutia detail. Let's see if I can. This is very minor. Things that people shouldn't ever notice, but we're noticing it, so this is just going to be a hard line edge for right now. We'll see how it looks. I know it. Midway through, I was like, I got it. Edge of that. Well, sort of defining, all I'm doing is sort of defining what this bottom edge is, making the platform a little bit clearer. Yeah, so mossy. For my players, you know, depending on where they fall off, we want to make sure they have a nice, easy landing area. As you can see, it easily blends in with the rest of this, so I don't have to do any additional line work. Edge there. With that, I think I'm gonna go, and we've been here for a little bit, and thank you guys for sticking with me while I make this little map. Oh, well, I wish it was little. It's massive. Been a lot of fun. I do appreciate you all. Hope you're getting some cool tips and or tricks for making your own maps at home. If you make some maps, come join our Discord, Obsidian Brews. We'd love to see your maps in there. Once this is done, as always, I do try to post these on the socials so you can see what's going to happen. And next week, be here and see some dope folks playing some D&D on these maps, so you can see how this would be utilized. Story elements can be woven into something like this. So, awesome to have you. So yes, now we're going to go put some of the finer details where bushes. Because one of the last details we're going to do is with your a larger. Actually, we can do it now. Because 200, we're going to go on the. That's 3. Good. So we're going to go on 300 later. We'll jump here. One transition on to fade if I can. Darker shadow along there, enhanced by some of the trees. And then 200 layer. We'll do it on 300 layer actually. Can't tell what's over here, which is great, so we don't have to worry about it. Yay! Right away. It's 3, good. So we'll switch this 3. Sweet. Now we've got some actual depth going out here, so this looks like it's over top. This is why you use your shadows. going to, these are on the 200 layer. It's going to sound silly. I'm going to put a shadow over the shadow, or over this ridge. Or actually right at the base of it. It's going to be kind of hard to see. So we're going to put this underneath. This is going to be tricky. I don't know, right? That's because I had grow on. I'm like, why doesn't this not working? It's okay. Okay, I know what we have to do. I'm gonna have to do shadow path half A, because the middle of this path does show. So I'm gonna have to sort of shrink it, but make it big enough so that it works. Gonna be a little funky, but we'll make it work. We'll fix that in post. Be seen, sort of. It's really faint, but it works. So we're going to do that slightly darker. Slightly darker so we can actually see it. Probably pull it out a little further just so I can grab it if I need to later. See it go that a little bit further. So now let's look a little bit more like stairs. Got some shadows going down. As always, I do like to play with the sense of height when you go in there. When I run up this hill, it should look like a hill when you're running up. We're gonna do a little bit more of that going into this, but I do want to get some more of the fun elements, the fun color of the Feywild in here. So let's go back to these bushes. We'll get some colorful things. I was looking yesterday at some of these berry bushes. They're kind of wild. They like pop really well. So you can sort of like, they blend with each other. So it makes them look pretty cool. Just you don't want to put a red next to a red, so you got to do something different. But other than that, this one I could actually probably get closer to a pink. Though it does look very purple. Closer to pinkish. See, more of a hot pink berry bush. But for right now, I'm going to stick with the colors we've got. We've got a lot of purples, reds, blues. Let's do some of these overhanging bushes. By turning off the shadow, you can sort of make it whatever you want. If the shadow's on, you place one next to each other, you can see the overlap. It's just a little weird. So, yet again, hence why I turn shadows off when I do it. Like the way these purple, red, and blue ones just pop out. Just gives you that very much the otherworldly, like, why are these here kind of vibes. Yeah, I can get away with one of these. The wider leaf. Yeah, there you go. I think I'll go for ones without the berries that line this road. Good. Let's throw some more of the berry bushes. Solid blue. That's okay. We'll just go into red. Into more of a mixed color. And that way you get some good looking array of colors sort of blending into each other. I feel like the purple and blue should be a little, probably switch, so we'll do that. That looks cool. You know, these are a little bit hard to work with sometimes. Like to find good shadows. Sometimes I'm able to sort of just turn it black, make the opacity like low, and then do it. That works. Excuse me. That works sometimes. If it doesn't work, that's okay, because we have tree shadows, and the tree shadows sort of make it work, right? So these sort of look like the A1 shadows. They will do. I'll just shrink it a little bit. So you have this whole nice colorful ridge coming down, which I think it looks pretty cool. It may look like rough approximation-ish, but that's sort of what we're going for. It's just like, how do you get the feel of a shadow for something that's sort of chilling there? If you could sort of line it up with what's like this sort of that matches this edge. So this one, they almost got it. Get some cool overhangs here. Sort of trying to go for that. Again, make sure you save. I am paying attention on both the Twitch and the YouTubes. Yet again, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. This has been super fun. We are getting there, folks. This is a C3, right? So tree shadow under. That's that one. Trees. We're gonna go. Let's do B1s. 5. We're gonna go 3 shadows. See where stuff starts to overlap. That's 1. This is 2. Shadows. Yeah, no, this is not the most glorious of parts, but I promise you, your players will thank you that it looks like the trees are off the ground and things have depth. Nothing looks sillier to me than when everything just looks flat and on like one level. Why? What you have shadows for a reason. Light's coming from somewhere. Okay. Take this tree off the side. Sure, works. C1, B1. Choose one of our signature colors. But now everything else is just detail. So I do have some new tree logs, which are pretty cool. So we can take some of these and sort of just place them in areas. What you do is you put them in places you don't want your players to go. They don't have to, so a tree that fell over here. And actually, I do have some. Oh, I have to find it. Some places where you can utilize this, but I don't know if I want to do that at the moment. Ooh, I'll come back to that. Because I have an idea. Oh, I forgot where it is. That's right. Let's see if I can find it. No, I cannot find it. That's okay. Mainly, I can't find it quickly, so. But if I do find it, I will let you know. But we do have some fun things we can always do to make these maps a little bit cooler. And it does have to do with these roots. seems more interesting than a tree with really massive root systems that just are extending out into places that the players can see. So you can take like some of these and be like, oh, it has a really wide base. Or just sort of hide it underneath the tree. Nothing's worse than something they can only barely see. Yeah, something like this would be. Like, that'll just make them upset. They'll hate it. This is 200. I put this at 300 right here, right? So all I gotta do is get some have some colorable roots. Not, that's okay. Do it the old-fashioned way. I'm just gonna hide some of these. Just gives it some more. Gives it a little bit of something, right? This is all stuff that's just fun little details that when people get in your games and go, what is that? Why is it doing that? You get to go, oh, and they get terrified because no one likes that answer from their DM. These little bits just make it a little more interesting. The other thing I can think of, if I can find it, these are the old lines. Let's see if they have any cool new ones. Yeah, these Ivy-like lines if we have something cool. So I'm going to do that too. I remember when I said if we had stuff that we couldn't figure out, we can just cover it. This is what I was talking about. Like if there was a weird seam somewhere, you can just cover it with something like that. Now the tricky part is making sure it's sitting in the right spot. The right thing's covering it. This needs to be someplace like over here so you can't see that that's at a high angle. Actually, let's see. Let's just give it a shot. I'm gonna try to bring that down to 200. Doesn't look bad. Cool. Now we got some actual ivy growing down here. Make it look pretty cool. I think it's really cool. Like, same with like moss growing on the side of things, like gives it more of a lived-in type of feel. I'll get some more shadows on there. I may do the shadows off stream, so you don't have to watch me do more shadows than I already have. I think the last couple things I'm going to do is to throw some more of these colorful bushes around our altar and down here, and I think we're going to be pretty much close to done, minus the minor touch-ups. So let me go back up to these bushes. And yet again, every time I say, I'm just going to do it, it's going to be an easy stream. I'm going to make something really small, really easy. I never do. One of these days, it's gonna be super easy. Today is not that day. Above that, 200, go over. What I'm gonna do is take the green one out. This green over, right? Actually, now it works because the green one messes with the yellow one, and they all have varying types of berries, so it's okay. No worries. Shadow that out and sap it. friends, players. Take the hint. Don't come here, please. I don't have it. I don't have another map to extend out that way. Alright, we're gonna do the last set of shadows for those. Get those tree shadows going. Under. Do this 100 over. This one is going to have to be 200. That's fine. This will be. Sometimes the layers get a little wonky. Whatever. We all know what's supposed to happen here. So I'll just try not to cover it. So I can't quite notice. What we do, it's just it's a feature, not a bug. Something like that. Okay, for all of these are 100s. 100 layer drop down. Go 5. That looks good. Just save that. And then we'll just do some ivy a little bit more. Just coming from over here. And we will. How do I do this? Yeah, I think this is the best way of doing it. It's a little bundle there. Here, we sort of have to make a bundle. Let's see. So, I appreciate that. I will always make sure there's some cool details in here. So, this is something. Here's a little thing that happened, and I'm going to show you how to get around it. So for this, because the altar is at a certain level, I had to put the shadows right underneath it. So I think this altar is at 200, so I put the shadow at 200, so to show it to the shadow on top of these, on top of the plants, or these bushes, I had to put the bush at 100. So that sort of interferes with this edge path over here. I can maybe able to see it. Oops. Let's see. This path here. Actually, that's helpful to sort of. So with that, that path, this path that's right there is on the 200 layer, not the 100 layer, so I can't just go directly over it. So what I have to do is put stuff on the 200 layer, like put an ivy growth on the 200 layer, so it's underneath or over top of the rest of this. What I'm going to do after I put that there everything, just connect it past here. But I have to do it at the 100 layer. So we've gone just far enough away so that you can't tell that it's hiding. Right now, if you look, that's why I zoomed in a lot so you can see this. It's hidden here. Right here, it's not. So I'm gonna try to just use some of the, sort of like a little trick that you could use, just so that you can't quite tell. Let's see if I can get it better. Yeah. See if I can get some good strands so that you can't quite tell where the issues lie. And then what you do is you sneak everything back to it. So I've created this little tangle over here. Just sneak away from it, right? So you can't tell that I get messed up over here. On this side, I would put a cluster here, another this little grabby cluster right on the edge, and then use these other ones down on the 100 layer to go underneath it. And with that, you sort of get blended notes. If I would not have told you, you wouldn't know that these are separate entities, for the most part. Now, of course, these all need their own shadows and stuff, and that's where stuff's going to get a little tricky. I think that's going to be something I do off camera, because that's going to take me forever. Just to get that looking just right for you. I do need on the 200 layer. So that kind of, remember those weird edges that we had? Just cover them with ivy. Nobody will see it. This is exactly what I mean by, like, you don't really have mistakes. You can just cover it with stuff. I can always just put let's just put some rocks, right? Rocks exist. So, you know, throw a rock over something you don't want seen. Nobody can say it wasn't supposed to be there. Some of these fun-shaped rocks. Get one that tries to match the color of your surrounding rocks. It makes it easier for you. And it's more believable, honestly. So, this is closer to correct size. So like that rock would be there. That's how, if it was eroded, you could see how that rock would fit in there. That's really thinking rocks. That's a good thinking rock. Put that on the 100 layer, so it's 200 layer. I'm gonna pull it away from the wall a little bit. Nothing worse than a weird rock formation your players don't understand why they're there. So, when in doubt, confuse them! What I'm gonna do right now is throw my shadows on these big rocks. And then wrap this thing up. So give me 1 second. I throw some cool shadows underneath these things. That on the 300 layer. I'm gonna go on 300. This 300. All right. So back to our shadow, shall we? 300 under. That creates more of a ledge, so it looks like the rock's hanging off. If you don't need that, one's fine. For some of these vines, I think I would need to use actual pads for these. But I'm really liking these ivy vines, so I'm gonna throw a couple more out there. 300 leather. One lash. And to finish up, I'm gonna use our array tool with some flowers. Just small flowers, just to offset the clover. I think now I can. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm gonna make them small. Hope you're in that. What's its? It was reduce the spread by to like 0.05. Sort of adorn the place. That's one of the great parts about having the array tool. I'll go back after the fact and put little shadows underneath them all. That's a lot of extra work, you know. Take that. Super small. To the all below water. Under. Then I just gotta make all of these pop, which will take me a little bit. But it'll be really cool because you're gonna have beds of flowers just around. And if I don't like a flower for some reason, like that one, I either move it or get rid of it. But I like them, so they'll stay. Flowers should go. This is way easier than what I'm gonna have to do for the tendrils. I'm gonna have to actually like use paths for that. Definitely not something you wanna watch too intently. But I can show you what I mean. Wait for this one. Yeah. Using a thicker shadow for these because the grass here would be so thick that these would have to be taller versus like down here grass is pretty thin, so a smaller these would just be like on the surface versus having height. Last patch. So yeah, that's the general gist of all that. What I meant by the boring parts of all of this is I'm going to have to sort of shrink out. I'll be going down to like in the minor categories and just tracing all of these out. Oops. All these roots. If you want to make them stand out, gotta do the actual work. So making these look like actual roots that go into the ground. Keep the smoothness on when you do it so that people can see that they're smooth. These you don't have to do it smoothly. Sort of see the extra level of detail for some of these. The trick here, like as I said before, these are on the wrong layer, so I need to be doing this over 200 over, I think. Okay, take some of these down. Sort of cheat by not doing all of it. Just sort of letting the overall shadow string out for you. Remember, I have to start here with the 200 and then go back for actually, I have to go back to 100 layer for these guys. Made it easier for myself so you can't quite tell where some of these go. Where they fade out. You can see this is where the extra effort goes. Some of these, that doesn't work, so you got to make sure that's on the right layer. 200. Whew. Thanks for hanging with me. I got a couple more minutes. I'm gonna see if I can do this quickly so you can have a full view of it. That needs to go back to 3. Yeah, I get these right. It looks. Now, as you can see, this looks like something that's actually on this side of the cliff, or this ridge that's there. trick for this one. So this is already on the 200 layer. We have the shadow path, 40. We're just going to try to see that we can get this all the way underneath it. Since it's a web, you don't gotta try so hard. So we're just going to try to get this as big as possible, and then just to shrink. And just remember that this pulls. So that majority of it is already done. Now we're just doing like minor tendrils. Now you can just do a little bit darker here. Just pull them all the way back as far as you need to thin out some of these wraps. Some look a little darker than others. Looks like a little bit more of a covering. I would do the same thing for this one. 5. Yeah. But I do like the so now you know that. For this, we'll go back to the 0.25s. These. And a trick that I do that you may not be able to notice, because I don't think I can get into that so close, is that when I go to the end, I'm not actually stopping at the point, I'm making sure the shadow is right underneath it. So you can see this shadow here where it meets it, so it looks like it's hanging off or separated from. If it's right underneath it, it looks like it's right on top. If it's separated, it looks like there's a light shining down on it. So you can get some cool effects. This is another one we do with the bigger swath. We're gonna go with grow to shrink, coming from about here. And we'll stem everything else out from there. modules here. Ooh, thanks for sticking with me, guys. This one's a little tricky, but looks cool. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I think that's pretty dope. Got some cool pieces. And the other thing I didn't do was cool path. Do I have? Oops. I know where it is. Just I used to know where it is. I'm joking. Oh, here it is. Under Cliffstone. So what I can do is on this 100 layer, if you got a bunch of, when you have a long cliff, you can just sort of get this stone. Oops. That will looks like just debris when you zoom in. So just under cliff dirt. I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see. No, it's small. Yeah, it's glossy. Gives us all another layer. Oops. The other thing I gotta do, I'm sure it's underneath. Yeah. Your points, just make sure you're not sticking out in any weird spots. It's like you've had rubble fall down to the bottom of your cliffs. But yeah, with that, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap this map up. I think it looks pretty good, pretty colorful, pretty Feywildy, pretty multi-level-y, so that there are many things that can be explored, looked at, touched, and things you can fall off of. You know, fun things for me. With that, that is the. I guess we'll wrap it up. This will be the end of Monday Maps with me, Mad Dr. Rob. Again, I want to tell you all the cool stuff that I got going on and Obsidian Brews has going on. Me personally, I'll start at the top. I was part of Harlem Hellfighters Never Die over on Queen's Court Games. Go check that out. It was super dope. Our 6-part miniseries is being featured in multiple festivals, and it's super cool. I really hope you like it. All black cast, black DM, super brilliant castmates. Noir, Noir Nidma is DMing. Christian, Fluffy Goomba, Laura Tutu, Jazz and Scorio, and myself as players over on Queen's Court Games. And that was last year, but we are back now on Telltale Games for Raiders of the Lost Tribe. It is a Haunted West All black game, y'all, is real good. It's real good. It's cool. Um, so yeah, if you want to see us be cool cowboys, come check it out. Harlem Hellfires Never Dies was all of us rocking up in the 1920s Harlem. So, check all the stuffs out. I will be personally, that's number 2. I will be running games or a game at the end of the month on Start Playing. So if you ever wanted to play with one of the Obsidian Brews DMs, we're going to start doing that. So now you can have me, MADDRROB, DM for you. Check out the Start Playing link that's been in the chat. It will be in the description below for the YouTubes. And yeah, come sign up. 5 players. It'll be a home game feel, so you don't got to worry about being on stream. It'll be more home gamey. But yeah, love to have you. Love to play a game and have a sweet adventure. Just the name of the one shot. And finally, next week. All right, next week, come back here. Come hang out with us and Obsidian Brews here. As I will be running a one-shot where I get to show off how you would implement using some of my maps in your own one-shot or campaigns. And I'm going to be DMing, have a wonderful, wonderful cast of Obsidian Brews own Matt Resmont Walker, Bendy Dinosaurs, our wonderful friend from Queen's Court Gaming, and also dope person of Obsidian Brews, Laura Tutu. And for the first time on the Obsidian Brews channel, Fluffy Goomba will be here as a player, and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be real dope. I will try not to kill them. I don't know. Donate. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. That's maybe up to you. I don't know. We'll see how it feels. But with that, that is the end. I hope you had fun. I will make some more touch-ups and then post this on the interwebs for you to see the final copy. But it's been a blast. Thank you very much. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And with that, adventurers, have a good one. Bye.